Okay, center card, we have the Page of Cups. We have someone coming towards you with some sort of emotional expression here. Could be an invitation, communication that indicates there's love involved, or just the expression of feelings. And this could be you doing that towards someone else. There may be the possibility of someone young or at least emotionally immature impacting your world this week as well. Now, on the general side, we have the Sun in Strength and the Ten of Cups. First, with the Sun in Strength, I feel the possibility of some form of burnout coming through, where you need to be patient, persevere, and work through that energy. You could feel like you're running on fumes here, but we do have an outcome card of the Ten of Cups, which brings about emotional satisfaction. That emotional high I quite love. I love the Ten of Cups. So you're feeling happy and comfortable, surrounded by love, as indicated in this card. Some of you may find yourself getting something that you've wanted for some time, and it required patience with strength here. And you've pushed through, and it's basically come towards you, and now you're enjoying the rewards with the Ten of Cups. Okay, so on the love side, we have the Ace of Coins, Death, and the Two of Swords. Here we have the possibility of a new opportunity coming your way when it comes to love. You see it as legitimate. There could be some sort of solid ground when it comes to your connection with someone, whether it's a current relationship or something brand new. Again, there's a possibility here, but it is followed by death. So, even though it feels like this could be someone that you could commit to or just pursue further just to see how it goes, it feels like the opportunity that's come through this week may be canceled. It could be delayed. Now, death doesn't really indicate a delay, but I'm saying that maybe for whatever reason, this week a situation might be canceled to be picked up the following week or weeks. You may also be second guessing someone, a connection, or your relationship, and it could be what your partner has to offer. So they could be coming at you with some sort of suggestion, and I feel like for the most part you will lean towards rejecting whatever that is, or now's not the right time. Two of Swords doesn't really want to engage for the time being. If there's a choice, you don't want to make it right now. And you're kind of putting it off with this energy. All right, let's get a clarifier for the Page of Cups. Queen of Swords. With this energy, I actually get someone expressing themselves in an unexpected way. And it might not be what you're used to from a particular person with the Queen of Swords there. And they might even go about it in a weird way too, until you realize what they're trying to do, what they're trying to communicate. For some, this is just a person who is communicating with you, is reaching out, and again, feelings or some sort of emotional ties being expressed. This could also be like a mother figure, grandmother figure, who is taking care of a child. That's also come up. That's pretty specific though, so most likely not for everybody. For the most part, I see it as the messenger. You may also have trouble expressing yourself as well with the Queen of Swords. She's not the one I would see as being so easily open emotionally, very protective over herself and her heart. So that could be a difficult thing for whomever this is. General side. There we go. Four of Coins. You've acquired something of value here. And you're like, oh, this is mine. I'm hanging on to it. This is fantastic. Of course, because the Sun and the Ten of Cups is there indicating the happiness. And you find that it's well earned, so you're not ready to let something go. You want to enjoy it as much as you can for however long you can make it last. Love. Love has the Ten of Swords. So now with the death being there. That is a card of an ending. And the Ten of Swords, also a card of an ending. This could definitely represent a cancellation of something. Again, it was offered to you with the Ace of Coins. Maybe you were attracted at first and then you thought about it, you had that second guess moment, and you're leaning towards, again, not going. This could also be a cancellation that happens that's out of your control when it comes to your love life. What is the Ace of Coins? The Emperor. Someone's very serious about whatever the Ace of Coins in. They've thought about it for some time. They've taken a very mature approach. They're basically wanting to give you something here that to them more than likely is very important. You could be doing that to someone as well, like in a gift form, something of that nature. But I get the energy of it not being accepted. Why Death and the Ten of Swords? It's like you're very indecisive. You're not sure. Maybe you don't want to align yourself with someone just yet. You don't want to commit, or it's just the energy of not being ready. Two of Swords, Two of Coins. They're neutral cards in a way. They're kind of flipping back and forth. So for the most part, it's a no for you until you've had maybe more time to think about it. Why the negativity? Or why the... Well, she's thinking here about a situation from the past. Maybe this is a situation, maybe that person has done this before, and taking that gift would mean something, would mean that you accept something, an apology or whatever from them, and you don't want to do that. It could be something like that. Some of you could be stuck on the past as well, unable to move forward with someone new. That's yet another possibility. And you just may want time to think if this will make you happy. And so right now you don't know the answer to that. You're just kind of backing off, or someone's backing off. All right, let's see what gives you so much happiness with the Ten of Cups and the Sun, though. Okay. All right, so it's going to be like an hour before I come back. I got one card that flew out, and that was the World. And I'm actually going to pay attention to that card. So what's making you more than likely happy is the fact that things are definitely shifting. There's a major change here, and your world is changing for the better. So you've gotten something that I think you've worked very hard for. It's taken a bit of time. There's that graduation that the world brings, and now things will be different for you in a happy way. But let's get some more to what is causing you. You've worked very hard for it for sure. Nine of Wands. What's bringing you the happy? Oh my goodness. All right, Six of Swords, yes. Well, Swords energy is tied to the happiness. This could have come through communication as well from someone. There may be someone that's coming around to see you. Or there's been an opening. Some sort of travel could be indicated here as well. You could be progressing on the way up. We have that with the World. What's the King of Swords? I feel like the King of Swords is definitely an ally in this case. Or, I mean, this could either be two things. Someone who's helped you get away from negativity and helped you kind of move forward and maybe have some sort of success. Maybe they were like, you didn't completely do something on your own. They were backing you up in some way and allowed you some transition here with the Six of Swords. Now, in some cases, this could be a person that you were successfully able to move away from. And by being separated from this person, that's a victory in your own, and you're very happy. I mean, what's interesting is that these clarifiers are more of the airy, cool energy, mental energy, and then with the happiness, you have these warm cards, the sun, bringing light to your world, strength, bringing more fire and energy. And the Ten of Cups, even though not necessarily a fire card, it has fire in the picture. It's very warm as well and inviting. So I feel like you were able to transition from something that was very limited, whatever that may mean to you, very cold as well. I know that sounds weird, but it could have been an environment that you just didn't feel comfortable in. And now things are happy. You like where you are. Center card, we do have the Two of Wands, which for me indicates that the main focus for the week is potentially making a choice. Maybe you're working with someone for the first time as well, because we do see two people working together. It does feel like a positive partnership if that's the case for you, or just a fun time with someone. You could be getting closer to them, getting to know them better. And something is coming from it as you see this big bean thing pretty much growing quite large. And both sides are very content with what they're seeing. So that could be the case for some of you. Otherwise, there is the possibility of choice being a major factor for you this week, or being the main factor, just the focus. And thinking a lot about what to do, because you want to see something come to fruition, whatever that may be. Now, if we go to the general side, we have the Prince of Chalices, the Seven of Chalices, and the Ten of Pentacles. And just to jump to the Ten of Pentacles really quickly, I like when the outcome cards are positive, because it puts that more positive spin on the other cards for me. So it seems like although you may have some choices and there may be some of that indecisiveness coming through, she's actually smelling the flowers here. So I feel like the choices that you do have, it may seem endless, and for the positive, I keep saying positive for you guys, because she's happy. Even her in this card, I'm actually seeing, I used to see her for some reason as this Prince of Chalices as like almost being sad and reminiscing, but I actually see her in a blissful state for you guys, like a state of wonderment and imagination and seeing all the possibilities and feeling great about the opportunities that you have. Again, it could be in any aspect of your life. As someone who may need to make a choice, it could feel like you got like 7 choices or more, and each one is equally nice. It doesn't feel like, it's not like, oh, fuck, do this one or do that one. It's like, oh, I could do this one, I get that, or this is pretty appealing as well. And regardless, the outcome has you with stability, feeling happy and comfortable in your environment, your surroundings, and what you've accomplished. So very card that indicates this week is going well for you. Love, okay. Love is not the most romantic energy, although it's not negative. We have the Hierophant and the Two of Swords and the Magician. It does feel like if you're in a partnership, you could have reached some sort of disagreement with your partner. And maybe that disagreement stems from values, what you believe, what you think, what you want. With the Hierophant there, it could also be something that you stand firmly on your ground and so does the other person, or one or the other person is very firm in their beliefs. And it could be any type of beliefs that's there. And for the most part, the Two of Swords is saying that there is this disagreement. Neither side has reached compromise. And so there could be some like weird energy between you and your partner. But the Magician's as the outcome says that that changes by the end of the week. That someone, whether yourself or the other person, it's like, we're going to make this work. We're going to figure out a solution. I know what the right thing is to do. The Magician has answers. So I do think, although there is some sort of, again, head-to-head with a partner, that it comes to resolution this by the end of this week, more than likely from your end, as you figure out what you need to do, or you're insistent on making something better. As a Magician, is just like, I know how to fix this, is usually the Magician's energy. Now, as a single, you could, I feel as though you don't even know what you want when it comes to relationship. The Hierophant can represent structures, traditions, values, and either you don't really have an opinion on it with Two of Swords, or there's this element of maybe not connecting with people that share the same things that you do. And it could be a bit of frustration for you as you try to, you know, connect with others. Now, the Magician, though, is very insistent. So I feel like despite that, you're like, gonna keep trying. I'll eventually maybe match up with someone. You could also, actually, let me just get some clarification. You could also, there is a possibility of encountering someone where despite there's some differences, culturally, again, with traditions and so on, that there is the intention or desire to make it work, as the Magician would do that. Let's just get some clarifiers down for all. Two of Wands. The general side. Seven of Chalices. Ten of Pentacles. Love. Hierophant. I just feel like getting the cards down for you guys first. It's interesting. It's like the clarification cards are very similar to what's already come out, just in different areas. This one wants to show up too. Okay. Six of Pentacles. You could be, again, this represents that balance that you may be experiencing with another person. There's a harmonious connection that's happening. Two people working together. It's going very well. Neither one is putting more than the other. It's very equal give and take. Now, some of you are looking towards, as I said before, making a decision, what to put your effort into, what to put your time, your energy, maybe your money, or maybe all the above into. And that's still being sorted out, I feel. Now, if we go back to general, the main clarification card was the Five of Wands. Now, this could be friendly competition or even, it's weird because I see it a little bit more exciting because the main cards around it are quite positive. So it could represent maybe some confusion with the Seven of Cups there, maybe some issues. But again, I think it's issues because there are so many attractive choices versus it being negative. And because of all those choices, there's an inability to see things clearly. What's the right thing to do? I don't know. Everything feels equally nice. So you might not be able to make a decision just yet this week. Now, with the Ten of Pentacles, we have the Three of Pentacles. And so, again, work-wise, financially speaking, you're still coming across as well off, putting your focus into something. Regardless if, let's say, this week you don't figure out a path or you don't make that final choice, you're still at it and it's going well for you. This could also add to the fact that teamwork could be a big deal for some of you this week, and whatever project you're on or how that group is working together, it's going well. Ten of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. And there's acknowledgement here. If we go to love, the main card here was the Five of Pentacles. Now, with this deck, I always see the Five of Pentacles a little bit differently. And there's a romantic vibe here. It's like a sad romantic vibe of someone finally maybe opening up to needing some sort of support, or two people being very supportive of each other is how I see it. One is obviously hurt. So let's see how this can relate. You know, I keep seeing it as, despite the differences that you may have between yourself and another person, that there is this like coming together and expression and wanting to work it out. The Empress with the Hierophant For me, it kind of leans towards that there's the possibility of a female here, if you're involved with one or if you're one yourself, that could have the strongest values, or where their beliefs are, they kind of dictate what they do in romance, and it could be like firmly embedded into their personality or who they are and who they want to be with. For some, this could represent your married partner as well, your spouse, I should say. More than likely a female. I always usually see the Empress as feminine, strong feminine energy. Some of you are discussing marriage or commitments. This is, not necessarily being in agreement with what the other person wants and what you want, but somehow making something happen regardless with the Magician. Somehow making something work, or figuring out a solution by the end of the week, at least for the time being. Two of Wands in clarification of Two of Swords. It shows that it's hard to pick a path, that maybe you lean somewhere, but not strongly enough that you can go ahead and say, all right, this is what we should do. Now, the Ten of Swords is a clarification for the Magician. So there is the possibility that some of you could be deciding that the action to take is an ending, whether it's painful and it just must be dealt with. There is healing that comes after it, although you're anxious about how quickly you will be able to recover from an ending. It could be that some of you, again, you can't get past the differences between you and the other person, and because of that, the solution that the Magician brings is, look, this has to end, and you hope that the recovery is swift. Now, it doesn't promise that. There's anxiety surrounding the healing portion, but that most likely could be an action for some of you. For others of you, because again, the Five of Pentacles, for me in this instance, in this deck, shows that there's some intention for the two people to find support within one another. That the Magician in that case, which is almost like the opposite of what I just said, I know, conflicting evidence, is the Magician could be trying to circumvent the ending. Like, how do we get around a situation that feels like it's a dead end? What do we have to do? I know that we can do this, but what do we have to do? And I don't think, in that case, it may not be the most solid solution that's found, because we have that stalemate energy. It could be that Magician's like, we're going to find a solution, very adamant about that, or you're going to find a solution. And it's because the intention is to move past the situation that is so hurtful because you don't want to be without the other person. And it's just causing you like a lot of anxiety in order to figure out what you need to do.